Good morning, and welcome to a very special Wednesday edition of this week's press conference. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge the hard work and sacrifice of African Americans here in Erie. Without the contributions of pioneers like Harry T. Burley, Sam Jethro, Jessica Pope, Ellen Curry, Mary Alice Brown, Gary and Andre Horton, and many, many others, Erie could not become a welcoming, vibrant community. Juneteenth gives us an opportunity to highlight the struggles and accomplishments that African Americans have endured and achieved through the 246 years as the United States of America. On June 19th, 1865, 2 months after the surrender of Confederate General Robert E. Lee at the Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia, Union General Gordon Granger and about 1,800 other federal troops arrived in Galveston, Texas. They took control of the state in order to enforce the Emancipation Proclamation. That is when the spirit of Juneteenth was born. Juneteenth is, of course, short for June 19th. Officially, it is known as Juneteenth National Independence Day. It is also called Freedom Day because it commemorates the day that marked the end of slavery in the United States. In December of 1865, slavery in America was formally abolished with the adoption of the 13th Amendment. In 1979, Texas became the first state to make Juneteenth officially a holiday. Today, most states in America hold the Juneteenth observances. Next, I want to read the City of Erie's Juneteenth proclamation. And I'm going to ask Angela McNair to come up and join me for that. And I'll present it to Angela when we're done reading it. Angela, by the way, is the Erie School Board member and coordinator of this long-standing tradition in Erie. For the 8 years this event has taken place at the Booker T. Washington Center, we're really pleased that this year we've chosen to celebrate it right in the heart of downtown. Thank you very much for that, Angela. So this is in recognition of Juneteenth. Whereas on the 19th day of June, it has been nationally commemorated as Juneteenth. It is also known as Emancipation Day or Freedom Day. It is a symbolic date representing an historic milestone within our Black and Brown communities, many of whom selflessly have served here in Erie. Whereas we remember that in December of 1865, slavery in America was formally abolished with the adoption of the 13th Amendment. Now, 157 years later, we still have the need for continued change as we work to make Erie a welcoming, safe community for everyone. Whereas Juneteenth celebrations are a tribute to those African American who fought long and worked hard to make the dream of equality a reality. Whereas it is vital that the residents in the state of Erie join together to acknowledge a time in our nation's history when we need to carry the torch to promote equality and celebrate our joy in the pursuit of life, liberty, and justice for every American citizen. Whereas this year, the local Juneteenth theme is Silence the Violence. The City of Erie recognizes that there is much work to do to combat the complexities of violence in our community. The City of Erie will continue to work with our residents to address the senseless acts of violence that plague us as we work to make a better, safer community for everyone. Now, therefore, I, Joseph V. Schember, Mayor of the City of Erie, declare the 19th day of June, 2022, as Juneteenth Day in the City of Erie. We, as a collective group from all walks of life, are part of this victory. We celebrate this freedom for every resident. Thank you very much for being here. And thank you. I now turn the podium over to Angela. Angela.
Thank you very much, Mayor Schember, for this proclamation and recognizing Juneteenth as a holiday here in the city of Erie. I just have a short commentary in regards to Juneteenth. Juneteenth is also known as Jubilee Day, Emancipation Day, Freedom Day, Black Independence Day, and it's a federal holiday as of June 17, 2021 in the United States. It commemorates the emancipation of African Americans. It also is observed for celebrating the African American culture. And this holiday was first celebrated in Texas in 1865, and in the years following, we just continued celebrating it on June 19th. Celebrations have continued across the United States, even now in the 21st century, and typically include prayer, religious services, speeches, educational events, family gatherings, picnics, and festivals with food, music, and dance. Juneteenth continues to be important, not just because it marks the end of slavery, but because it becomes ritualized and it's a political holiday that tells and retells the story of Black people's ongoing struggles. Juneteenth has also become an opportunity for larger events, such as the one that we will be having downtown this weekend, where there are parades, block parties, festivals, and pop-up events that assist with local minority-owned businesses showcasing their talents, services, and goods. We'll be having that block party this Saturday between 12th and 13th and State. We'll be having that block shut down, and we'll have over 40 vendors, a stage where we'll feature the Breeze Band and other local talent. In Erie, as a young woman, I've always been involved in the community. I took the opportunity to follow Gary Horton and others who used to do Juneteenth years and years ago. It kind of died down, and in 2015, I decided to pick up the torch and run with it. We went from doing the celebrations at Piper Burley to the Booker T. Washington parking lot, and eventually moved it down here in the heart of Erie on State Street. And once again, we'll be shutting down the block on June 18th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're also excited that we were able to reach out and collaborate with others. Collaboration and unity is key. So we did reach out to other organizations such as the Booker T. Washington Center and Erie's Black Wall Street. For more information to sponsor, donate, or become a part of this event, you can email Erie's Juneteenth Celebration at gmail.com. And once again, we appreciate you, Mayor Schember, for recognizing this holiday and recognizing our work. And we hope to see everyone at our block party this Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Angela. I really appreciate all that you're doing for the Erie community as well. Thanks very much. This Juneteenth celebration will be a great event, I'm sure of that. I hope that residents will come down and celebrate Erie's rich cultural diversity. Next, I want to invite another fellow who's done a lot for Erie in his lifetime, Homer Smith, to the podium to tell us about the 7th annual My Brother's Keeper Scholarship event. Homer, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor Schember. Congratulations, Angela, for taking the torch, and Mr. Outlaw for inviting me here today. During slavery from 1619 to 1865, most enslaved blacks were denied the privilege to read. In fact, slaves caught reading or thought to be able to read in many instances were killed. The 7th annual My Brother's Keeper Scholarship Awards program will be held this coming Saturday at the Blasco Library, Hurd Auditorium. This year, 41 scholarships to 23 graduating seniors totaling $33,500 will be awarded to those students. The My Brother's Keeper program in Erie was formulated in 2016, concentrating on the third milestone, graduating from high school, ready for college and career, of former President Barack Obama's My Brother's Keeper program. Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, which I'm a member, St. James AME Church, Super Soul Saturday program 90.5 WERG, in partnership with family and organization scholarship donors, created scholarships to celebrate family legacies and to pay blessings forward to students of color. In 2016, we awarded $5,500, $7,300 in 2017, $8,500 in 2018, $10,000 in 2019, $14,000 in 2020, $22,750 in 2021, and this year, $33,500 in 2022. Since the inception of My Brother's Keeper Scholarship, we have provided over $100,000 in scholarship support to Erie City and County African American and minority high school graduating seniors. This effort has grown in the past 7 years as a result of our community coming together collectively to support the educational pursuits of our young people. We would like to invite the Erie community to the awards program on Saturday, June 18th at the Erie County Blasco Hurt Auditorium, 160 East Front Street, to celebrate the academic accomplishments of Erie's African American and minority students. And again, we commend those students. As Angela indicated, these dollars have been provided by members of different organizations and personal scholarships, many to keep the legacies alive of those persons. We had a goal of $25,000 this year. We had 32 applicants, and we wanted to make sure that each applicant that was selected to receive a scholarship was provided an opportunity to receive that. And anyone who would like to support this effort, they can contact myself, Homer Smith, or contact me at zetapiq@gmail.com. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for the City of Erie for supporting our students. God bless.
Thank you very much, Homer. It's really impressive the way the contributions have increased over the years. You're doing great work. The Brothers Keeper Scholarship Awards program, honoring and celebrating the achievements of African American and minority high school graduating seniors, is really a wonderful way to celebrate the youth who are doing outstanding work in the Erie community. Once again, the awards ceremony will be held at the Erie County Blasco Library Hurt Auditorium on this coming Saturday, June 18th, 2022, and it'll be at 10 in the morning. Next, I invite City of Erie Community Liaison Michael Outlaw to come up and share his thoughts on Juneteenth. Michael.
Good morning to everyone in attendance and our viewers watching online. This year's Juneteenth theme, Silence of Violence, has a somber undertone to it. On April 14th, a 7-year-old child named Antonio ESPN Yager Jr. was shot and killed not too far from his home. His murder was utterly senseless, and the community needs to stand in solidarity with this administration and our partners to silence the violence in our community. We need more community participation, awareness, and education on the impact of gun violence. We need the community to stop remaining silent and withholding information that is critical to solving cases. Join Unifies Erie's violence reduction strategy and be willing to host a call-in. Help us, help you, help your child. For us to behold how good and pleasant the City of Erie can be in silence of violence, we must dwell together in unity. As I reflect on Juneteenth and what it means to me personally, on June 18th, I imagine the slaves were weeping in their quarters. Kids sold off and never known if they'll see them again, and witnessing the atrocities of slavery and loved ones being hung on trees and the brutal whippings, etc. But on June 19th, there is a sense of joy that came in the morning when they received the news that slavery had ended here in America. And so let us reflect on history, and let us not forget as a community the importance of unity in our community. Let's come to the realization that crime is on a rise in our community, and that we need more law enforcement officers on the streets in a preventive measure to prevent these incidents from occurring in our community. Again, let's stand in solidarity with this administration, Erie Police Department, our Unified Erie partners as we address this senseless violence in our community. In closing, please enjoy this weekend, but also remember the price and sacrifices our African American ancestors paid for us to enjoy these freedoms and liberties. Thank you. Turn it back over to the mayor.
Thank you very much, Michael. Very moving. Really appreciate that presentation. Thanks also again to Angela and Homer for your presentations today. My team and I are on a mission. We want to build opportunity, restore hope, transform Erie. Eliminating racism and prejudice is probably the most important part of achieving that mission. The Juneteenth events are great ways to celebrate our cultural diversity. I would also like to thank Erie's Black Wall Street for their efforts and their contributions to events all around the city in celebration of Juneteenth. As you may have heard, there are many great ways you can celebrate Juneteenth this weekend. I encourage everybody to do just that. To learn more about the upcoming events, please follow us on social media for the latest updates on everything happening anywhere here in the Erie area. Anyone who spoke is now available for interviews. Thank you very much all for being here today.